driving the conversation, making sense of the news.
Do you think that this current model is fair? The fact that you have acknowledged that places where the companies are headquartered, that state gets the benefit more. But now with the current proposal, states where those goods are consumed as well get to benefit. Do you think it would be fair for such state? I mean, you made an example of Kano. Do you think it would be fair for a state like Kano if distribution is now being made to them based on what they were able to consume?
Well, it's fair enough, but you also need to look at the production capacity. If we look only at the production capacity without talking about, just talking about consumption, without also talking about production, these things are also very key. That's why it has thrown confusion in this, in this line of discussion. And that is why we need to allow the men we have voted in power, the National Assembly members who should be speaking for us, to make sense of this, do these arguments, and let's have more perspective to it. Let's have.
When you talk about production capacity, in what context are you talking about?
Like, states that hosting some of these production companies, for them to just pack all the VAT and go and pay in Lagos. And this particular bill here is talking about states that have more consumption rates, isn't it? Mm. So with the way it is now,
is it possible to have a state host a company without commiserate number of people who will consume the goods?
Highly possible.
Really?
Highly possible. It's possible that there's a particular state you have, a company that does all their production here. Let me even use Ogun State. There's a company in Ogun State, around Shagamu. Most of their products are being consumed more in Lagos. You understand? But they produce in Shagamu.
Why are the products not consumed so much as in Lagos?
Lagos is metropolitan, and of course, it has that that strength, depending on the product also. So it's about products, goods, and services. And the value-added tax goes with it.
That's an interesting perspective. Chagzo talked about alcohol, the fact that you do not consume alcohol, and the VAT paid on alcohol, you get to benefit from it. What this means is, if there is less consumption of alcohol, which imposes VAT, it means that because there are less consumption, your state will not benefit. But is beyond this particular concern, because I think most people were actually having a feud day saying, well, the North is no longer going to benefit from VAT, from alcohol. But I think they are also speaking to the general scheme of things. In terms of the incentives, I think the question will be, if we want states to have VAT distributed to them based on how much consumption they are having, are all states blessed with incentives to attract consumption of goods? Okay. If, for example, we think that what could actually lead to high consumption is population, because if you don't have population, taxable or VATable goods will not be consumed. If you don't have the infrastructure that would attract people into a state to consume those VATable items, you're not going to have VAT. If perhaps your state is cited in a place that is not favorable to companies to come in or for people to dwell in enough to consume VATable items, well, you're going to lose out at the end of the day. So the question would be, are states, all states, truly in that good position to attract VATable goods, to attract people who will consume some of those goods? Chagzo, what do you have to say to this?
Yes, every state has that potentiality to be able to attract something that can be able to give them a task and make them VATable. Yes, why are we saying this? It's because many of our leaders, they have this understanding that once they go there, they will start embezzling and doing things the way they like. And thereby giving us some leaders that are so docile, so redundant, so, that does not think They are not even proactive,
Right.
because they believe that VAT from other states will keep coming and they will keep sharing it. And I'm part of those that said, before you come out to be a leader, you must have something to offer your people, something that will attract investment, something that will make the life of your people meaningful. Not to come out and start.
That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm trying to say, that every state,
states developable. That's the question.
Yes, every state is developable. Every state has that capacity to enhance. Every state has that potentiality to get something that will attract even the international community.
Driving the conversation, making sense of the news.